All right, so what we want by the end of this task is like we can see on the screen here. It's an A3 poster that's well designed with a mathematical analysis of how we use time here at Tauranga Boys College. So some titles, bit of an introduction. There's a table with some of those calculations. There's some visual representations, some graphs. And finally, there is a paragraph explaining what those graphs mean. Now, we worked through on Friday some of the assumptions. Okay, one of the assumptions. So our first scenario is that school starts at 8:40 to 3:10, and we said, well, that's the same as like 20 minutes plus 6 hours plus another 10 minutes, right? We worked those out. So it was 6.5 hours. But then we thought, well, hours are a little bit tricky to work in, so let's work in minutes, right? So 6 hours times 60 minutes per hour, right, doing the calculation is 360 minutes, and then we've got to add those 30 minutes. So in total, it was 390 minutes. So that's one way we can say, well, we spend 390 minutes a day at school. But there was also another way. We can say, well, we've got 6 lessons, and they are 50 minutes long each, so that actually equals 300 minutes because, you know, this other 90, that's for interval and lunchtime, and so that's fine. And then we can go, well, actually, we've got a different way. If I get the right number after 4, we can say, well, actually, even though we have 6 periods, we don't actually spend all those 50 minutes learning because sometimes we've got to change classrooms. Sometimes it takes a bit of time to, for the teacher to take the role and get started. So maybe actually we only spend 40 minutes of each lesson's learning, and then so it's actually only 240 minutes. So we've got 3 sets of assumptions. So none of those is wrong, right? They're just different sets of assumptions. So as long as you state those assumptions when you come to do your poster, so that's up in this part here, yeah, as long as you state those assumptions, then we're all going to be good. Okay. All right, so we know that we can work out how much time we spent learning per day. And I'm going to choose to use 240 minutes. So 6 times 40 minutes per lesson. Now, to work out the total time, because I want to work out the proportion, I want to calculate the number of minutes, in this case, in a day. And so I can do that as a calculation. Remember, a spreadsheet can do calculations for you if we start typing an equal sign. And then to work out minutes in a day, there are 24 hours in a day. Each hour has 60 minutes, so 24 times 60. Okay? And I don't want it to autofill. So then I come to the week. Now, a week at school is 5 days. So this is going to equal the number of minutes per day. And I'm just going to click on that to make a cell reference. So 240 and then star 5, because a spreadsheet doesn't understand X for times, it understands star. All right. And then again, I'm going to work out the total time in a week. Well, a week is 7 days. And if I've got 1,440 minutes in a day, it's going to be 7 lots of that. So as I go through, I'm working these things out. Now, if I do a year, well, that's going to be about 40 weeks. So times that by 40, and then a year, sorry, I'll just correct this. Do that again. So a year is a week. How many minutes in a week? Times 40. And then a year is going to be how many minutes there are in a week. And there are 52 weeks in the year. And then when I do my life, well, if I look at the number of years I'm at secondary school, so if that's the number of minutes per year, and I'm 5 years at secondary school, that's the number of minutes in my life at school. And then, of course, in terms of a year, I'm probably going to live till I'm 80 because I'm so fit and healthy. All right, so now that I've completed those values, I want to work out the percentage. The percentage is one number divided by another number to get a proportion. And to calculate the percentage, we know we need to enter a formula, so we start off with equals, and it is this number, so the number of minutes that we learn in school, divide by the number that's in B3, so that's the total time during the day. So once we've got that, and it's now formatted as a percentage with one decimal point, and I could do that again in this cell, in this cell, in this cell, but because I've done a formula, I can actually grab that bottom corner and drag it across to fill in those cells. So now I've got this percentage, and as you can see, even though at the moment we spend about 17% of our day in school learning, of a week it's only about 12%. Of our life, our year, it's just less than 10%, and of our life it's actually very, very minimal. So the last thing we need to do is create some graphs. So again, we're graphing the proportion. We highlight, for example, the minutes per day, click the chart button, and we want to create some pie charts because they're the best graph that shows proportion. So we're going to change it from column chart to pie chart, and then we can customize this different colors if we want for those different slices. We can give the chart a title, so that's minutes per day. And then if we want to copy that into our drawing, maybe we can just move that out of the way a bit. We want to copy that into our drawing. We can click the copy chart, and then we can paste it into our poster.